everyone, it's Galina and thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how to create a fun birthday shaker card. I'm going to start by making a background for my card. I cut out a card panel using a SCALLOP hardcover die. I separated those dies to cut out a card panel without hearts. Next I'm going to cut out a window for my shaker. I'm going to use this die from SCALLOP square die set. This die cuts a window with embossed dots around with some inner piece and thin frame. On my inner die cut, I'm going to apply some distress inks to create underwater scene. I'm starting with applying my lightest shade of ink. It's called Cracked Pistachio, and I'm using my blending brushes from Studio Katia to apply all those inks. I'm starting from the bottom and then I'm going to move on the top of the die cut. My next color is a bright blue ink and I'm applying it over my first layer. And I'm trying to blend those two colors. On the top of my die cut, I'm going to apply dark blue ink. And this time I'm using a regular dye ink because I want to use this specific shade of blue color. Again, I'm mixing all colors together to create a nice ombre look on the die cut. And after ink blending, I want to add some more splatters on this die cut. I'm splattering with my paintbrush and water. Also, I'm adding some blue splatters with my dark blue ink. Now I can create my shaker window. I'm going to apply double-sided adhesive tape on the back side of my card panel. I'm applying it around the window. Next, I'm going to put a plastic window on the back side of the card panel. I'm using a transparent acetate sheet. It's a clear, thin plastic sheet. And I'm cutting off the excess acetate sheet with my scissors. To create a dimension for my shaker elements, I'm going to apply a double-sided adhesive foam tape. I need to apply this tape around the die cut window and I need to be sure to have no gaps between the foam tape. My shaker base is done and I can move on to adding my shaker elements. I dared the ink blended die cut piece in the center of my A2 card panel. I cut out it from mint color cardstock. And now I want to create my own sequin mix for this card. I'm going to combine some blue crystals with iridescent bubbles, clear drops, some dark blue sequins. Also, I'm going to add shiny white confetti and I'm going to pick some blue and dark blue confetti from the rainbow confetti mix. I'm going to use only those two colors from this mix. And now I need to cover this all sequins with my shaker base. I remove the backing paper from the foam tape and I'm covering up my A2 card panel with my shaker base. To add more dimension to this card, I decided to cut out few more thin frames for the shaker window. I'm going to stack them together using liquid glue with a fine tip, and you can use a double-sided adhesive before die cutting to cut those frames with adhesive on the back side. And here is a closer look of my card panel. I hope you can see those dimensional frame with embossed dots around it. And of course I want to add some sea critters on my card. I stamped two cute sharks and I cut out them with my coordinating dies. I stamped them with Magenta Black ink. It's a Copic friendly ink and I'm going to color them with my Copics. For sharks I'm going to use only gray shade markers. I'm using warm gray shades of my Copic markers and I'm making a simple shading from lightest to darkest. And I colored the second shark in the same way. Also I have stamped some cute additions for these sharks and because it's a birthday card I need some present. And here I have fishes and bouquet of fishes and I'm going to color them with my Copic markers too. After my coloring is done, I want to create a beautiful sentiment for this card and I'm going to use chunky alphabet die set and some glitter paper. But at first I'm going to apply a bright blue color on this glitter cardstock. I'm going to apply it with my blending brush only on the bottom of this cardstock. I'm going to run my dies with this cardstock through my die cutting machine and I got beautiful two-colored glitter letters. Next, I'm going to heat emboss the first part of the sentiment on a black cardstock. I'm using a small sentiment stamp from the same stamp set with sharks, and I'm stamping it with Versamark clear ink on a black cardstock. I'm covering it up with fine detail white embossing powder, and I will melt the powder with my heat gun. I found mount the letters on the bottom of my card, and now I'm going to attach those two sharks above the sentiment. I'm using a double-sided adhesive foam squares. To adhere the heat embossed sentiment, I'm going to use a liquid glue from Studio Katia. And here is my finished birthday shaker cards with two adorable sharks on it. I love how shiny the sentiment is, and the sequins on a background look absolutely amazing. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. The playlist you can find in the video description below and also in the comments. And I will see you next week. Bye!